is John McRoger, Airman First Class. That blissful smile on John's face is because John has reached the end of his first hitch, and John is getting out. He is now contemplating the advantages that all civilians take for granted, like a solid gold Jagalac, a penthouse overlooking the river, a good job, and a beautiful wife.
And tuppence to send home to me wife, poor wife. No cares have I to grieve me, no pretty little coil to deceive me.
Uh-oh,
Happy
here
as
it
a
comes.
unbelief
The message.
as we go rolling. Hi, Mac. Rolling home. Name is Grogan. Technical gremlin. Voice class.
Yeah, I know, and you're here to show me why I should re-enlist. About all the multitudinous advantages accruing to the re-enlistee.
Look, Buster, I don't know what all the trick sarcasm is about, but I'm getting out of this man's Air Force. Capital O, capital U, capital T. Out.
Hey, you getting out too? Wait, that's different. Let's pick up our discharge papers together, buddy.
Are you kidding? Why, the minute they start talking to you, you'll go all soft and sign up again.
But
Shut up. Sit down.
honest, I've been dreaming about getting out ever since I got in.
All these guys are the same. Pushovers. Wild blue yonder pushovers. I don't know why I'm so soft-headed, but I guess I gotta brief this character so he won't be a patsy and get talked back in. These GI magic wands, always fouled up. Later. Now then, the first thing they're gonna try to do, they're gonna try to tell you how much better off you'll be staying in the Air Force. Okay, just for the record, let's take a look. That's you, and that's your re-enlistment paycheck. Airman Voice Class, 4 years service, $137.59 a month. And this is what the average veteran of your age is earning in civilian life. $253.47. That's $115.88 more than you make, Mac.
Why, that's an outrage. That's...
Of course, to be perfectly fair, the civilian does have to make certain minor deductions from his paycheck that you don't. Like food, lodging, clothes, higher income taxes, medical and dental bills, and life insurance. Minor deductions like that there. Well, it's only $197 a month.
Only?
Another thing I forgot to mention was that an airman can increase the size of his check by seniority, advancement in rank, allowances, overseas duty, and flying duty, and as much as 6 times your monthly base pay for your first re-enlistment. But the civilian still makes more money.
Sure, and anyway, the money isn't the important thing, is it, Grogan? It's the job that counts.
Brother, you are so right there.
Today we find John McRoger, apprentice trail-fast winder, happily at work.
Hey, Mac, there you are. Hey, there you are again. Okay, so you're a little lonely. That's natural. Too bad they don't have service clubs for civilians. But wow, look at them fancy duds. Nothing like pride in your appearance.
I don't know, Grogan. It just doesn't seem quite what I want to do.
Look, pal, you can't back out now. Why now, you take retirement. Do you realize that as a civilian, you can look forward to retiring at the age of 65 with a cool $85 coming in from Social Security every month?
Yeah? Well, in the Air Force, I can retire when I'm 38 and draw down $137 a month for the rest of my life.
What are you, a has-been or something? Where do they get off retiring you at 38? It's an imposition.
Some imposition. Okay, I decide I don't want to be imposed on. I decide I'm going to stay in another 10 years, till I'm 48. Then they really impose on you. $229 a month. And Grogan, I've already got 4 years start.
Well, you can retire on that kind of dough as a civilian, too.
Oh, absolutely. All I gotta do is I gotta save up about 90,000 bucks and put it out at 3% interest. A cinch.
All right. Yeah, I know. You save 60 bucks a week for 30 years. Okay, so it's ridiculous. I'll admit there's a few good things about the Air Force.
Like 30-day paid vacations.
And medical expenses and a 10,000 buck insurance policy thrown in.
And family allowances.
And housing.
And free education.
You know something else, Mac? Us guys in the Air Force know more than anybody else in the whole world how to keep these beautiful crates flying.
Okay, I've been briefed enough. Let's get going.
Yeah, I guess we both know what you want to do now. Right? Look, Buster, if you think you can get by in the Air Force without me, you got yourself another thing coming.
And was dark green, honestly. What a terrific...
Well, I guess I'll drift down to the old sugar bowl and scare up the old gang. Okay? Okay. Hey, gang! Old Ralphie's back! Sheesh. Old Ralphie. Maisie?
Mommy, a man wants to talk to you.
Hello, Hazel? What? Hello, Jeanette?
Sorry, I just...
Married? Hi, Barbara.
Sorry, I just...
Going out with your mother-in-law? Linda? Grandma? Hello, Betty? No? Marge? Husband? What's wrong, anyway? Everything seems different. I wonder what my old GI buddies are doing. I wonder if I ought to re-enlist.
Don't say it! Don't even think it! You're too smart, Ralphie boy. Got a light? And besides, I'm here to help you. You ain't got no more troubles. Here, hold this. Now, I just happen to have here... Now then, let's get some sense into that boyish head of yours. Now, first thing you gotta do is... Look, Ralphie, ignore this joker. He's in the pay of you-know-who. Here, give me a drag off that thing. All we want is the facts, man. Facts, eh? I'll fax you, Buster. This is what the average civilian in your age bracket earns a month. You may fire when ready, Grizzly. Need I say more? That's over $100 difference. Plus family allowances, of course, and automatic raises, and foreign service pay, and promotions. Sure, but look what you gotta do for all that dough. Slosh around in the mud all day. And you can pick your career before you re-enlist. Re-enlist? Are you nuts? We ain't re-enlisting in nothing. We don't want to look like no toy soldier. Look at these civilian clothes. Sharp, eh? Yeah, like I say. But we're gonna work our way through school nights. Study up. Be a big shot. While in service, of course. Don't be taken in, kid. We'll get ourselves a good job. 2 weeks vacation every year at good old Lake Mossy Log. In the Army, that is. So what? Who wants to live in a barracks all your life? Stick with me, kid. We'll live in luxury. Government insured, of course. Okay, wise guy. Retirement. In the Army. Or... Don't listen to him! We'll strike uranium in your backyard! We can invent something! Dehydrated water! Just add water! And with that fat bonus, too.
Holy cow!
Come on, hurry up! We'll inherit Fort Knox! We'll strike Earl! We'll invent the wheel! Come on, hurry up! Come on, get the lead out! Step on it, step on it! Come on, come on! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hey, wait for me! Hurry up! 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 Hurry up!
step, and I'll have isolated the virus of the common cold, laryngitis hackibus. Fosdex, check. Anti-proton ballast, check. Prepare afterburners for blast-off. Problem in this job is how to keep from disturbing the parents and getting them in a tizzy. Rockabye doggy in the treetop, when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. And so, after answering the $64 million question correctly, I decided to take a few trips around the world. About time we threw a little light on the subject. First thing you gotta do is get their attention. Comfy? Have I got your attention? Okay, let's straighten out a few facts about you and the Army. Now then. Excuse me just a minute. Rockabye doggy in the treetop, when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. You know, Ralphie, it's a funny thing, but every high school senior I've ever known thinks that when he gets into the service, all his buddies will look like a bunch of lower Slobovians. Of course, there's always one exception. You. Actually, they're going to be pretty much like the guys you're graduating with. Just plain old characters like Roy Robinson from Jefferson High in Portland, Oregon. Don Osgood from Page, Nebraska. Pete Willoughby, Los Angeles State College. Dick Martin from St. Peter's High in Worcester, Worcester, Massachusetts. Oh, well. Nice guys who wash their teeth every day, get their hair cut regular, well, fairly regular. Just a neck trim, please. Yes, sir. Just a neck trim. Well, what do you know? There was a human being under that pelt after all. Another interesting idea held by a lot of otherwise bright high school seniors is that the Army has all the right size clothing, but that it's mainly interested in getting it on all the wrong size people. Well, nice comic book stuff. But actually, the Army's no more interested in putting you into the wrong-sized uniform than your football coach would be. And for the same reasons. It's not necessary, it's inefficient, and it's just plain sloppy. In other words, you'd be pretty useless to yourself or the team. You know, according to some comic strip artists, our friend here, is the kind of non-com you find in the Army. The way they tell it, basic training's supposed to be nothing but KP, obstacle courses, and being chewed out by a bunch of sadistic sergeants. Hey, hold up! As a matter of fact, the Army's not about to use inefficient comic strip non-coms or officers any more than it would use outdated or inefficient weapons. No, the non-coms you're going to get acquainted with in basic will be very capable guys, and they'll be there for just one reason, to help you. You'll get to know men like Paratrooper Sergeant Mike Culhane, Master Sergeant Johnny Broderick from Okinawa in Korea, Corporal Tommy Webster, a high school senior when you were a junior, Sergeant Rod McCullum. He carries the Congressional Medal of Honor. Look, as long as we're on the subject, let's take a look at basic training and find out what it's really going to be like. Well, you're going to learn a few things at basic. Useful things, like how to handle weapons safely and effectively. And at 700 yards, I let him have it. You're taught to use a compass, how to read a map. Very impressive stuff later to the girl of your dreams. You'll learn how to pitch a camp and how to give first aid. The sort of knowledge that other, people will respect someday. You're also going to develop muscles that'll be useful later. Some you didn't even know you had. But then, it's not a bad idea to keep in shape for recreation, like boxing, football, skiing, and other, sports. You're going to learn to snap a salute to all officers. Now, where'd that custom come from? Well, the way I heard it, the only way one knight could recognize another knight under those cast-iron tuxedos was to lift his visor. It's a sort of hello among military men. Then one day, you're going to suddenly realize that you're beginning to look like and act like a soldier or a man. And you'll be surprised to find that you're very proud to be serving your country in the United States Army. A short intermission. Rock-a-bye doggy in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Okay, basics finished. Now what? Well, according to some comic strips, more endless months of KP, policing some forgotten post, and learning how to artistically goof off. But mainly, the rest of your Army career is supposed to be spent doing anything you're most unfit for. Humorous stuff, no doubt, but not good sense. Actually, the Army wants to send you where you'll be most useful and where you can serve the best. Where this will be is determined to a great extent by those interviews and aptitude tests you took in your first days as a recruit. So the chances are that... But wait, just a minute. Maybe you'd like to know before you start how you're going to spend your Army career. Maybe you'd like to choose the training you want and not leave it up to chance. If so, then the Army has a special deal you'll want to hear about. It's called Reserved for You. And in it, you pick the job training you want before you enlist. The Army then reserves that position in the world's finest technical schools until you complete basic training.
And now, let's go back to those dreams of yours. How about laboratory work in the medical field? The Army has some of the finest laboratory facilities, technicians, and scientists in the world. Well, that's just one of 127 courses offered by the Army. How about that dream of working with rockets or atomic power? How about guided missiles?
You choose it, the Army's got it. The only ticket you need to this program is one high school diploma. Sound good? Well, I can make it sound better. The whole deal is guaranteed by this letter, written to you by the Adjutant General of the United States Army. You don't sign anything until that letter is firmly in your hands. Fair enough? Let's see, adventure? Pick your branch. How about a real elite outfit? Armor. Tank Commander Phillips. Not bad. Travel? Man, you do ask the nicest questions. This is Paris, and it's no dream. It's solid, and it's yours. Ralph Phillips, USA. Sound pretty choice? Your local recruiter can fill in all the details. Today, if you like. But remember that you're going to look a lot bigger to the Army with that high school diploma under your arm. Oh, quick warning, though, Ralphie. You can only grab one of these special deals before you receive your induction notice. So why not call on the Army before the Army calls on you?
What's the matter with you? You gone nuts or something?
Remember, it's reserved for you.
1,621,392. A nice even figure. That's the number of babies who will be born next year in the United States. Of these babies, 118,481 will die before reaching their first birthday. Oh, well, what's a few babies, more or less? We've got lots of babies. It really doesn't matter if one baby lives or dies, or does it? Well, good morning, John. This is John Emerson Jones, Jr. Fine, healthy-looking boy, isn't he? But unfortunately, John won't have much chance to become President of the United States. Why? Well, here's one reason. Looks harmless, doesn't it? It's hard to believe that one small fly could keep Johnny from his chance to become president. And ordinarily, it couldn't. But there's just one thing wrong with this picture. Untreated sewage running into our pretty creek. And Mr. Fly's feet are not very clean. In fact, they're very filthy and loaded with germs like those that cause dysentery. If some of these dysentery germs should happen to infect Johnny at his age, he not only won't be president, the chances are just about 1 out of 2 that he won't even be alive. Stop! Can't anything be done to save Johnny? Oh, I suppose we could train all flies to wash their feet. Or shoot all flies. Or we could do away with all babies. But there must be a better answer than that. This is where I come into the picture. Your local health officer and my staff. Part of our job is to clean up just such unsanitary conditions. Eliminate open sewage. Do away with fly-breeding places. And give your Johnny a new shot at the presidency. Well, John, we got over that one all right, didn't we? Maybe you'll get to be a year old yet. But you've still got some very tough customers to meet on the path of your life. Like whooping cough, and diphtheria, rheumatic fever, and smallpox. But don't worry, John. That's where your local health officer, that's me, comes back into the picture. Another part of my job is to keep track of you and to see that you're properly immunized. Vaccinated and inoculated is another way of saying it. Or protected in other ways so that you have the weapons to fight back when these enemies attack you. You see, Johnny, most immunizations should be completed before you become 1 year old. Does that surprise you? Well, well. Look who's in the 4th grade. Hiya, John. Shh. Oh, I'm sorry. Mind if we look around? Looks like you're being well taken care of, Johnny. Shh. Oh, pardon me. Grown up now, John? Mr. Jones? Hey, wake up. You know her. That's Merrie. Merrie Lawrence. Changed since high school, hasn't she? For the better. Congratulations. You ought to make a very happy couple. You're fine, healthy-looking specimens. Nothing wrong with you, huh? Are you sure? Let's be really sure. Step in for just a couple of minutes. Now, don't worry, John. It's a very simple process for you. And I know Merrie won't mind it either. It's not so simple for your blood, though. Let's see what happens. First, it's numbered, whirled, a warm bath, shaken, checked, cooled, bathed again, then carefully read. And aren't you lucky that you happen to live in a community that has a health department? Anything we can do for you now, John? Time will tell. Now what's worrying you? Oh. Now, just a minute. Your wife has had excellent prenatal care, advice and instruction, and good medical care. And of course, the health office will cooperate with your doctor and with your wife to see that the baby will have the best of care after he's born. So why worry, John? Well, what do you know? It's a boy. You must be the first father in history to have a boy. Uh-oh. Anyway, he's sure to recover from this disease. Nice feeling, isn't it, to know that everything's all right? Your family's well taken care of. You don't have to worry too much about your health. But there's one thing you do have to worry about, John. And now that you're a family man, you've got to face it. A local health department is costing you, yes, John, it's costing you real money. 3 cents a week. That's right. 3 cents a week per person can provide basic public health services in your community. Not much, is it? Well, John, you've been leading a normal, happy, married life. But of course, you are getting a little older. Your hair is receding, which is normal. You've developed a double chin, which is normal. You've also acquired a paunch, which is a little abnormal. But you're still a fine-looking man, even if a little mild exercise wouldn't hurt you. Yes, sir. Nothing like a little exercise, especially with the kids. Makes you feel so young. I got it! I got it! He got it. A little mild exercise, John. Let's take a look at that body of yours, and perhaps we can point out why violent exercise isn't good for you. There's the old ticker pumping away. So many miles of pipe. Now then, that bay window appears, and the rest of you spreads a bit too. More skin area, more pounds of flesh, and more pipe needed to cover the ground. More work, too, for your heart. And remember, John, that heart isn't getting any younger. So let's get more rest and take it a bit easier. Oh, by the way, it might be well to cut down on the food a little. Hey! That goes for you, too, Mrs. Jones. Look, John and Mary Jones, let's not kid ourselves. This is the age when cancer, heart disease, and diabetes are the big killers. Now, wait just a minute. Don't get panicky. Nobody said you have these diseases. With a few simple precautions, you'll have very little to worry about. Periodic checkups by your own doctor are the most important thing. Don't wait until you're sick. Always remember, early diagnosis and early treatment are the best weapons with which to fight cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. The family, the doctor, and the health officer. One kind of eternal triangle that really makes sense. Grandma and Grandpa Johnny Jones. And we've come a long way together. From now on, folks, you're pretty much on your own. But wait, just a minute. This looks like a happy ending. And it should be a happy ending for a fine boy like Johnny. But the odds are better than 25 to 1 that he'll be born into a community with inadequate public health service or none at all. So it looks like Johnny's chances of being among the 118,481 new babies who'll die next year are pretty good, doesn't it? But let's get one thing straight. There's nothing about this figure that is sacred. It can be reduced by well-staffed health departments throughout this great country of ours. Which kind of public health service does your community have? It's up to you.
with a high hat and a whiskers on his chin will soon be knocking at your door. And you ought to be in. The tall man with the high hat will be coming down your way. Get your savings out when you hear him shout, any bonds today? Come on and get him, folks. Come on, skip right up and get him. Any bonds today? Bonds of freedom, that's what I'm selling. Any bonds today? Scrape up the most you can. Here comes the freedom man, asking you to buy your share of freedom today. Many stamps today. Give kiddies. We'll be blessed if we all invest in the USA. Sammy, my Uncle Sammy.
Here comes the freedom man.
Can't make tomorrow's plan.
Not unless you buy a share of freedom today. Any stamps, any bonds today.
Wartime America faces the greatest demand for food in her history. Food for our Army and Navy. Food for the invasion front. Food for ourselves on the home front. Food to help our fighting allies and the people of the Allied countries. It takes pounds of food a day to keep a soldier on the fighting front. Millions of pounds of food each day. The best way to supply our men overseas and our fighting allies with most of the foods they need is in dried form and in cans. In addition to the military, other factors affect our canned food supply. Take tin, for example. Our major peacetime sources have been cut off by the enemy. Our railroads and other transportation facilities are being taxed to their utmost, carrying munitions, armaments, war supplies, and troops. That leaves less shipping space for civilian foodstuffs. And then there's the farm labor shortage. All this means that we at home will have less canned fruits, vegetables, soups, and other processed foods for our use. Without rationing of these foods, some people would get more than their fair share. Others would not even get what they need. But rationing assures everyone of his fair share. That is why your government is rationing canned fruits and vegetables and other processed foods. Until now, we have been rationing one item at a time, like sugar and coffee. But processed fruits and vegetables are not one product. They are hundreds of products in hundreds of different brands, grades, sizes, varieties. In cans, bottles, packages, in dried and frozen form. One cannot say, as in the case of sugar, each citizen will be allowed 2 cans of peaches a week or 4 cans of spinach. It may be true that some people don't like spinach. Some of you may want to buy canned corn. Others of you may want to buy canned peas or spinach. So the question arises, what method of rationing can be used so that each citizen may get his fair share of canned fruits and vegetables and other commercially packed foods, and that will still allow freedom of choice? The system which has been adopted and has worked successfully in England for over a year is called point rationing. In the point rationing system, all these foods are grouped together, and your ration book is used to buy those you like. Those items which are not so scarce will take fewer points. Items which are more scarce will take more points. Point stamps to buy these ration goods are in War Ration Book 2. This book contains blue and red stamps. Blue stamps are to be used for canned fruits, vegetables, soups, juices, and other processed foods. Red stamps will be used for meat. This is a typical page of blue stamps in War Ration Book 2. Notice that the stamps are given point numbers, 8, 5, 2, 1. Everyone will get 48 points each period. That means you will use blue stamps ABC for the first period, DEF for the second, and so forth. Point values will be the same in all stores. Every store in which you shop must post the official table of point values of all point rationed items in all sizes. From time to time, point values may change, and stores will post the new point values. an example of how point rationing works. This lady, all decked out with her family's brand new ration books, starts out to do some shopping. First of all, she wants to buy a can of peas. She wants to buy a can of chicken soup. And she wants some dried prunes. Well, there's our list complete, and all that remains to be done is to tear out 14 points in stamps and pay the grocer. But wait just a minute. Just for fun, let's take another look at that point ration table. Hey, slow down there. What about those string beans? Why, they're only 3 points in the size we want. If we buy those instead of peas, we can save 5 points. And what's this? Fresh apples don't require any points. Well, why not buy those instead of dried prunes? And save another point. So there we are, our shopping list complete. With the same amount of goods, and with 6 points saved for future use. Smart girl. She's smart in more ways than one, too. Because she used her large stamps first, wisely saving her small ones for low-point purchases later on. Because she shops early in the day, and so helps her grocer. Because wherever possible, she substitutes unrationed fresh fruits and vegetables for canned or processed ones. This is point rationing. This is the way to assure everyone here at home an equal opportunity to get the same fair share. This is the way to assure food for our fighting men and for our fighting allies. Share and share alike is the American way to victory.